So this is part 2, and I am focusing this one on finding a supportive doctor. Sorry, I know it's getting darker in here, but our lighting is not great in here with our works that we've been doing. The electricity's gone above my head. So this guy that I found, when I went in, it was totally, I don't know, I wasn't expecting anything. I didn't know what he would be like. He's ended up being nothing like any other doctor I've found before, because he's like a GP. He's a normal doctor, okay? So I walked in, sat down, we kind of shook hands and everything and said hello, and we spent most of the session, I'd say we probably had 30 to 40 minutes together. And most of it was done in French, so for me some of that's broken and I'm finding my words, but I'm kind of okay with trying to describe things in detail in French, and I kind of just spoke English a bit sometimes just to see what his English was like, and I thought, oh yeah, you know, if I'm ever high coming in here and I can't be bothered to speak French, it might be quite good to just say whatever I need to say in English. And he was pretty good, so I was chuffed about that. The other thing is that he started asking me questions like, so you know, what was your mum like at giving you hugs when you were young? What about your dad? Did you ever hug with your dad? Basically trying to find out how much love I got in my life growing up. And he said, you know, how easy do you find it to hug your daughter? And I kind of said, well, I suppose we could do it a bit more often than we do. But I said, oh, that morning, me and her happened to go off for a mini walk to my favourite oak tree around the back of this house and into the fields, past the woods. And I kind of sat with my back against the tree, and she was kind of sat in front of me. We were both looking out at the view. And I was kind of holding her, and she was all relaxed, and it was really nice. And I suppose after him saying that, I'm like, yes, I should hug her more often. So without too much force, I do kind of, you know, find more moments in our life when I can hold her and have close moments, because I know how important it is and how life just goes past so quickly, and you're like, oh, when was the last time I hugged her, or has she seen some love from me today? And so this is something that I know we just have to keep in our minds and express when it comes to us, and for them to feel it, because, you know, one day I will die, I'm leaving her behind, and I want her to be assorted, well-rounded, loved, but also someone that can love others in return, human being, so she can really enjoy her life. You know, it's not all about me. It's about my daughter, about my husband, about everyone in my life, and how they experience their time with me, and how I experience that time with them, which is something that we probably all need to work on if we're not enlightened and already fully there. If you know what I mean. Yeah, so he asked me lots of quite deep personal things straight away, and strangely, you might not get that with people, maybe you do, but sometimes I get the feeling like I'm almost entering into someone else's space. And I was looking into his eyes, you know, I was concentrating really hard on what he was saying and what I had to say in return. So my focus was really strong, and he was saying some things that made me feel quite intense. So, you know, it was an intense situation. But yeah, so it's kind of like I'm with him, like we're there together, you know, and we're like one, if you sort of mean. Which for me is kind of a clue to say, okay, I've connected with this person on more than just a communication level, and that I feel like I could, you know, open up and say whatever, anything to him, and that would be fine, and I would feel comfortable doing that. But when it came to physical contact, him being this magnétiseur, not Reiki, but some healing thing with the hands that I don't know what the translation is in English. But because I was saying to him, but hang on a minute, I was kind of pushing him and I was saying, but how are you going to help me with just words? You know, if I'm high, how are you going to bring me back down with just words? How's that going to work? Oh yeah, so then I had my first meeting with my osteopath guy, who's called Emmanuel, and he said, okay, it's the other way around. So I had my first meeting with Emmanuel first, osteopath session, and then he said, okay, go and find a doctor that can sort out your meds, that side of things. And then when I went to the doctor who could sort out my meds, he said, you're not ready yet. You need to have some more sessions with the osteopath before we can start reducing your meds. So that's where we're at. I've been having 3 sessions with the osteopath to feel like I might get towards that stage where I might be more ready to come off my medication. So I think the next time he said we'd be writing a letter together, or some points where I can create a letter to give to the doctor, and so he knows what we've been doing in the sessions, and so then he can make a decision as to whether he thinks I might be ready to start reducing the first level down, which probably wouldn't take me out of the therapeutic range, not the first drop. But I only have a 100 milligram drop from past history knowledge of myself and meds, where it would take me out of the range. From 600 to 500 would take me out of the therapeutic range. So yeah, I don't have much leeway there. So very soon I imagine that I will have a blood test and see what my levels are in my blood, lithium in my blood, and then we can start discussing whether I can do it, whether I can come off meds, whether I can start it. So I think that's enough for session 2 video about coming off lithium. I hope that was informative some way or another. I suppose I'm doing these videos so that you guys out there that have tried coming off meds and it hasn't worked, you can maybe, I know comparisons aren't always good, but I feel that there's so little information out there about mental health, where things have been positive, or people have given you hear lots about negative things, or I got high, or I got depressed, or this didn't work, or I did the cold turkey and da-di-da-di-da. I suppose I'm showing not the cold turkey, I'm showing the controlled, analytical, tentative, with support, with absolute communication with the party of my doctor, with my osteopath. I might have to bring other people into the process, with my family, my close family that I live with in France, and my friends that I've now made in France. I'm going to tell them, this is what I'm doing. If you notice these kinds of symptoms within me, then contact Robin, and he will basically deal with me, if I'm getting high and the symptoms. So for me, that's extremely positive, that I'm being totally open with everyone and I'm not hiding anything. There's going to be, no lies, no kind of, I'm fine, actually I'm getting nearly high and I'm going weird. No, there's going to be none of that. I want everything to be kind of see-through and clear as day. I hope that's clear for you. So subscribe if you want to hear number 3, 4, 5, etc. And yes, you can see my other videos in the line, in the row. Press like if you like what you're hearing. Bye.